The Robert P. Strathearn Open Air Historical Park and Museum covers 6 acres that is believed to have been part of the local Chumash village known as Simi, from which the Valley of Simi derives its name. The park contains elements from 3 important eras in the area's history, including the Chumash Indians, the Spanish Rancho period, and the arrival of American settlers. This hidden gem of a museum has displays and artifacts from these 3 historical periods.
The Strathearns had always known they lived on a historic site, but they didn't know. We've learned an awful lot since then. A lot of research has been done, so we know how important it is. This is unique, basically, because you don't just find the Chumash Indian history and the Spanish and the American story all intertwined in this 6 acres that we have inherited, from the Strathearn family.
In addition to the Strathearn House, there are several historical buildings that have been moved to the park. You can stroll around the grounds and investigate these structures on your own, or follow a docent-led tour.
Officially in 1913, but about 1908, the Catholics kind of took it over and started having their meetings in here. Then in 1913, it became part of the Los Angeles Archdiocese.
This region of California was inhabited by the Chumash Indians for thousands of years. The native Indians spoke a language and dialect known as Venturleno. There were 2 main Chumash villages in the area, one deep in Tapo Canyon to the east, the other near the Arroyo and the Strathearn Park. The Portola Serra expedition, traveling through the valley from Mission San Gabriel to Mission Buenaventura in 1769, camped near the Simi Indian village, along the Arroyo Simi. At the historical park, archaeologists have found Chumash bowls, arrowheads, and other relics from the original village site before their culture's fatal decline. A vast colonial Spanish land grant was issued to Santiago Pico and Luis Pena in 1795, which included the eastern part of Ventura County. The land became known as Rancho Simi. An adobe house was built at the site to serve the rancho's 114,000 acres of grazing land. The adobe is the oldest surviving structure in the valley and dates back to when the Chumash village stood on the property. Rancho Simi would eventually be broken up. An influx of Americans began in the 1870s and the 1880s. In 1889, Scottish-American rancher Robert P. Strathearn bought 15,000 acres that was once part of the original Rancho Simi. The Strathearns would build a Victorian-style frame house onto the front of the old Simi adobe. Two rooms from the original adobe still survive, and they served as the kitchen and dining room for the Strathearn family. From the time of the American settlers, farms, orchards, and citrus groves covered the landscape, until about 1960 when tract homes began to fill the valley. The Strathearn home has been maintained as a historical museum, with period furniture and household items on display. The 6-acre historical park includes a collection of other structures, including the original St. Rosalima Church built in 1902, the Colony House, the first building moved onto the park in 1970, with the original Simi Valley Library built in 1930. 2 Woodridge barns built in the 1940s were moved to the historical park in 1982. The open barn housed a collection of wagons and farm equipment. A gift shop and the Bangladesh barbershop are part of the collection. The barbershop building dates back 100 years. It is one of the last buildings left from the old downtown and a link to the community's past. The Visitor Center provides displays and items from the area's past history, including the Chumash, Rancho, and farming eras. This hidden park is a wonderful day trip for families. Open most weekends and limited hours during the week, tours are offered with a small donation.